That's okay.
I'll adjust it while it's going.
Yeah, you just he's going to adjust. Hey guys, what's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marcus Dietz.
I'm Rob
This is
Bossolari.
Rob Bossolari, Rob the Boss Man,
The guy with the missing eyes because of the green screen.
Big Boss Man Rob. And this is the Rob and Marcus Hate Wrestling podcast, where we talk about how much we hate wrestling.
And they always give us a lot to work with, these companies.
Which was funny because when we told Ron Funches that our
hold on. You fucking guy. This fucking guy. You fucking loser. All right, let's do this upright. So I want to paint the picture for everyone. Go a quick rundown.
Was I gonna ruin the whole story?
Yeah, you
right.
fucking jerk off.
All right, I'm sorry.
So we decide we're going with our buddy. We mentioned his name, Deer, and one day we're going to bring him in here. He's very lazy. He doesn't like to leave his home.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to bring the podcast to him.
Yeah. He actually has a room for it.
Nice.
And
everybody,
we're walking from Tropicana, from Ohio, where, by the way, not that they need it, but a bucket of beers is $10 there. Like a bucket of
Rob saw that and he was like, "This is the best deal we're gonna get. We gotta do this."
Yeah, 5 beers for $10 is $2 a beer. Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah. So we're drinking. We decide to walk across the street.
Tell them where we're going first off.
We're going to AEW Double or Nothing at the T-Mobile Arena.
Live this Sunday.
20,000 people, May 28th, 2023.
Yes.
And we're walking along the edge of the MGM Grand. And we see a group of people. Now, one of our buddies, he's a comedian named Brian Shenanigans.
Shouts, Brian.
What's up, Brian? Wears this tracksuit.
Yes.
It's
he is very noticeable.
Ridiculous.
First off, the man has got to be 6'2", 6'3",
and a big tracksuit,
and about 350 pounds,
and a fedora,
and a tracksuit that is just the most colorful tracksuit of all. It's like somebody took a bunch of paints and they just threw them up against the wall.
It looks like Paisley. I don't know what they.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
He's a very funny guy. You should check out his comedy.
He looks like he's dressed up like a Persian pimp.
Yeah, he's a Persian pimp. He's on the streets of Las Vegas
with
trying to get more
gold
hookers.
Dragons on his tracksuit.
Like, yes,
and
we see him and we're like, "Oh shit, it's Brian! Hey,
and
buddy,
then
how are you?"
You turn to the right, and there is a white dude dressed up in a New Japan Pro Wrestling, same getup as Brian, but New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes,
a little Asian girl.
Tracksuits on.
Little Asian girl.
Yeah,
and then a black guy with a tracksuit. Except that black guy with a tracksuit is Ron fucking Funches.
Yes,
stand-up comedian.
And we're like, "Oh shit,
GCW pro wrestler."
Yeah,
not on their regular roster, but he's appeared. He's wrestled, and he executed a perfectly timed Canadian Destroyer, Code Red, Ron Funches. I brought it up. Shout out to you.
Yes. So we see this group of human beings, and we're
all going together now.
Yeah. So we just go.
And I'm carrying a bucket of ice water and Bud Lights.
Yeah. So they're like, "Where did you get that?" And he's like, "I had to. It was only $10 for 5 beers."
So we got 5. So me and him drank the first 2.
Yeah.
And then me and our buddy Dier.
Yeah.
And
when we got there, we met with Dier.
And then we all finished it off. It was a fucking phenomenal evening.
Yeah, it was a great show, and we're going to talk about it. And
I've got pictures. I've got videos.
We had a few things we'd like to talk about. Now, first thing you noticed when we got there, because we kind of got there right when the pay-per-view was kind of starting.
The buy-in. We came in just at the buy-in.
Well, we got there after the buy-in ended.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We got there about 4:40. 4:45-ish when we were getting in, and we got into our seats. We had decent seats, and which is cool about that arena that I like.
All the seats are fairly good wherever you're sitting.
Anywhere you sit in that arena, it's a decent show. You're gonna have a good time and not have a bad
spot.
By
the way, me and Dier, guys, welcome. Me and Dier have had the same seats all 3 times we went there. We went there first for Elimination Chamber, then for Double or Nothing last year, and Double or Nothing this year.
Well, you should buy stock in T-Mobile. Anyway, when we got there, the first thing you saw, you were okay. So we're looking at the ring or whatever, and a little to our left, there's like this area that wasn't. It looked like it wasn't being used, and it was an area. It was about 10 rows. About, what would you say, 100 seats, 150 seats?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, I don't know if those were people coming in later or whatever, but you noticed that, like, right when we got there. What do you think of
Well, here's the thing. So,
because everybody likes to talk about how all seats are filled and sellouts and numbers and blah, blah, blah. And everybody wants to talk about, oh, they can't fill an arena. This show can't fill an arena. This show can't fill an arena. This is your chance to shit talk AEW. Why aren't you going for it? Why aren't you telling us how much these suck because they couldn't fill the arena?
I'm looking down because somebody just messaged us, Bruce Leonard, Vegas Comics, said, I can't find your live episode. I've been putting that link up everywhere. So if you guys can't find it, please message me. Give me a buzz. You know how to find us on the socials.
Yeah, are we live right
we've
now?
Got two. We're live. Well, we've got 2 viewers.
Yeah, we got at least.
We've got 2 viewers. Right. And I just sent him a link.
All right. So, yeah, we got there. It was a good show. We're just going to keep talking about. I just want to hear what you have to say about that situation, about those things.
You know what? It was
because you pointed it out a couple times.
Right. So here's the thing. And I said this the other night too. When they were in Las Vegas at MGM, the camera kept panning to the left. So if we're looking at the Titantron, if we're looking at the ramp, at the entrance ramp, left would be to the left of the ramp, the right would be to the right of the ramp. Every time they went to the right of the ramp, going from left, going right and then panning across.
Yeah.
There were seats not filled. And I went, Jesus. Oh, MGM is a smaller venue. That's like 10,000 people.
Okay.
They should be packing that out.
Yes.
That's scary to me because once again, hey, Red, Red
was at Double or Nothing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, once again, I will say this. The product was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, it was a good show.
I enjoyed it, not because I was there. Simply, it was good. I was there and it was energy. No, it was really well written. The story. I never left one of the matches disappointed.
Well, here's the thing, and a lot of people, I go through TikTok. I like to post on TikTok. I, took some videos and some photos and stuff, and I was posting on TikTok, and people were talking about how the crowds kind of were mild or whatever. I don't think that, especially like
we had one guy in front of us who was a dick because we were cheering.
Well, listen to this.
That was it.
What I'm going to say is I don't think they mic the crowds very well because there was a certain spot. Wardlow was on top of the ladder and he did the Jeff Hardy, thing,
right.
And then he did that.
The Swanton Bomb.
And so there's this AEW video that AEW posted of that clip. And like 4 of the comments were like, the crowd goes mild. We were there and they fucking lost their goddamn minds. People were going insane when Wardlow jumped off the ladder. So I don't know.
He didn't hit clean. He caught the guy with the shoulder blades. He caught Luchasaurus with his shoulders.
That's how you're supposed to catch people with that move. But
you're right. It would be damaging anyway.
My point being was that for some reason people seem to think that the crowd wasn't hot in Vegas.
Here's what I want to tell you.
And we did piss off somebody about 2 rows in front of us a little bit.
This is what I'll say.
Enjoying ourselves.
WWE has their delivery mechanism down to a science.
Okay.
They really do. But
as they should.
And yet their product is garbage.
Yes.
So they're delivering a garbage product. I said this the other 3 weeks ago?
Sure.
When Roman Reigns retained.
Storytelling, everybody.
When Roman Reigns retains, there's no response to the crowd. Then all of a sudden they go and they cranked up the volume on whatever little area. AEW needs to do that. They need the delivery mechanism. I don't need the 3D graphics of like, doves flying or some nonsense like that, or 2 guys going. I don't need that. What I need is just make your product look better.
Yeah.
Your product is amazing.
Yes.
But people, you got the hardcore people. You got 800,000 hardcore fans. Good. And that's enough to probably keep Dynamite running forever.
Yeah.
And probably Rampage. I don't know about Collision. We'll see.
We'll see how that goes.
And we'll talk about Collision in a minute from the new announcement. But the fucking matches were great.
You know whose product looks really good right now?
What?
Impact's.
Yes.
I think they've definitely improved their
it's not
look.
as good as it was.
I think
10 years ago.
I think right now it's looking as good as it's looked in a very long time.
Yes, but they're also in Canada and they're in Detroit and they're in places with slightly bigger venues. And if you do the cameras right, same thing as AEW. If you have empty seats somewhere, you know what you need to do? Suck it up and go, okay, you guys, you need to go from here to here.
Yeah, move some people.
We need to fill this out. You know what? I get it. These tickets were sold or maybe somebody didn't show up. Fill it out. Fill it out.
Yeah. If I was doing that, I would have definitely had some people have better seat.
Here you go. Upgrade. We're going to upgrade you. We
go.
want you to have a great experience, guys.
Yeah.
If I'm that guy who has to hype up the crowd, hey guys, we want you to have a great experience right now. We've got a few empty seats right here. We're going to give you a free ticket upgrade. Who wants to come? I got 3 seats. Okay, family of 3. Come on. Boom. Get out in the front. They're great. There were great programs here, not just talking about the local scene, which did well, but we want AEW to go up. WWE, whether they do bad or good, it
doesn't really matter at this point.
They don't need to do. You know what I was watching?
What?
I was watching one of these Dark Side of the Rings.
Okay, which
about
one?
Vince McMahon.
Oh, there's one on Vince.
Yes, and it was shot a few days after he was kicked out for the NDA, and I was
so it's a recent episode,
right? And then I was watching this. I'm like, wait a minute, how recent is this? Because I was watching this, they're all attacking this from the perspective of Vince McMahon lost his job, not forgetting that. At the end of the episode, it talks about how Stephanie took over the company and Trips takes over developmental and talent. And then I went, wait a minute, this is already old because he took it all back.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. They can write whatever they want to write, do whatever they want to do. If the program is good or bad, it doesn't matter. They're going to have a patented 2 million. There's such
a conglomerate. There's such a big entity that they can kind of get away with stuff for a while before it matters, and they've become complacent.
They've been complacent since 2001. The last time they were relevant was when they had the invasion with ECW, WCW. Stone Cold screwed over the the WWE.
2005.
Yeah, but I never liked when John Cena came out and when John Cena and Randy Orton, the rivalry of rivalries. And I went, no, it's not. The Rock and Stone Cold was the rivalry of rivalries because the fans didn't know who to cheer for. You were boring. Randy Orton back then was very boring. There was nothing good going on back then. But I remember, again, I'm a mark, Attitude Era. The Intercontinental scene was better than the World Heavyweight scene was then and now.
I was a fan of the Hardcore Belt.
The Hardcore Belt, and not that 24/7 garbage. Just call it the Hardcore Belt.
Yeah.
If somebody gets flipped through a table, jumps off scaffolding.
Hey, I had fun with it. I liked seeing Crash get his ass beat at the circus and all that stuff. That was cool. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
This has been a beautiful weekend, and AEW, once again, was a victim of their sloppy delivery. The program was amazing.
Yeah.
The card was amazing.
Great matches, great time.
I fucking enjoyed everything I watched. It was worth every penny.
Yeah.
Now, were the concessions retardedly expensive? I said that. Yes, I did. They were stupid expensive. And I paid it, and I didn't even think about it until now. Why? Because I enjoyed myself.
Yes.
I want to be... Now, here's the only thing. When you're at a live event... You don't get the wonders of having that commentating. I was telling him.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I don't about live events.
Just not the commentating.
It's because I want to hear it. I want to hear what
their reaction.
I want to hear what Taz is saying. I want to hear what JR was there.
Yes, he was.
So it would have been nice to see.
What I want, Marcus, dream scenario. Okay,
dream scenario.
I want 2001 Jim Ross.
It ain't gonna happen. It's not 2001 anymore.
I know.
You know who I want to come to AEW and do commentary?
Who?
And I think he can do it by himself. He's so strong that he can do it by himself. I want Joey Styles.
Oh my God! Hold on, I just got a text from Bruce Leonard.
Sure.
The Iron Sheik. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Our buddy has no concept of what wrestling is beyond 1987. Anyways, Joey Styles.
Anyway, Joey Styles would be a great.
It'd be amazing.
I'd be so hype if Joey Styles came to. They should give him a job.
Yeah, I don't like the guys they have. I don't like Corey Graves. I don't like the Scottish guy.
Well, that's WWE. We're talking about AEW.
AEW. I love Taz.
Okay.
Excalibur is the hardest working guy in that commentary team.
He just talks so much.
Well, they do that. They make fun of it. They break the fourth wall all the time, and they make fun of it. And then we've got the three-way tag team title, Jamie Hayter, and it's like,
And Taz is like, get a grip, kid.
And then if you got Jim Ross is trying to be like be on the point.
Yeah.
And he says stuff that's just so bizarre, and you're like, oh.
Ian Riccaboni is cool. Shivani's
I love
cool.
Riccaboni.
Yeah,
Shivani,
cool.
when Sting showed up last night, the snow came down, and it's Sting!
Yeah.
I love that because the whole point of the commentary.
I liked him in Impact.
Yes.
I liked his work in Impact.
Shivani?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the commentary, which WWE's clearly forgotten, is if you have a guy like Corey Graves who's constantly shitting on the product. Corey, they used to do this with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, where Lawler was the negative guy. But Lawler was negative in that kind of upbeat Karen way, where he was like, you can't do it to trips, or puppies. So he would be negative, but then he would still be upbeat, whereas Corey Graves is nonstop dour, miserable human being. He's just constantly just unhappy.
So I was thinking about making a character like that. I wanted to call it the pissed off luchador, and I just wanted to have like a lucha mask, and I just wanted to shit on everything, just angry, just piss off.
But
but I mean, that's such a
it's meta.
It's a very negative thing, and it affects like your mindset and stuff like that to be that negative all the time. So I can just imagine Corey Graves walking around just being a brood.
Oh God, he's just but you know who also did that? Bradshaw did that. John Bradshaw Layfield did that.
Yeah.
And then they had Michael.
But Bradshaw was good at it.
Yeah, they had Michael Cole do that for a while.
Yeah.
I just want,
and we know where he's at now.
Yeah, I want a Ronaldo type. I want just one announcer guy.
There will never be another one like Ronaldo, I think.
He was great. When he was on SmackDown, like, I don't know who you are, but you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Riccaboni type. I want somebody who has that sound. Mm-hmm. And then also I want them to be invested in the match. Taz is invested in the match. Excalibur is trying, but I'm not connecting with Excalibur.
I like when I feel like the commentators enjoy wrestling.
Yes. And they don't. Not the ones that you see right now. AEW, yes. Shivani's kind of like an old, like,
he pops for legends.
Yes, you got it. He does. He pops for legends. The new stuff he's just kind of weaving in and out. Jim Ross, God rest him, or God bless him. His mind is it's past.
Yeah,
he's past. Jericho is amazing. He needs to dial it back.
I'd like if he did a little more commentary.
When he's on Rampage, he's great.
Yeah,
he's great on Rampage. And but you know what the funny thing was, when he was on Rampage not too long ago with William Regal, and William Regal kept correcting him because Jericho was calling the wrong moves.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. Yeah, that was a
breaking.
That was a botch. That was a botch on our part.
A botch from botch.
Yeah. So hey, boss Larry, what was your favorite match of Double or Nothing? I'll tell you mine. I know.
Yeah, I gotta think about that because they were really good, and I don't want and it's my second favorite. I don't want to say the match with BCC. That was my second favorite match.
Okay. Well, the House of Black match was my favorite. I popped hard when I realized what was happening when they were setting it up for.
Yeah, good thing I had wet wipes.
Yeah, for House of Black. I was just excited. It was a good match. It was great. I love the Acclaimed. They're very entertaining men.
And Daddy Ass.
That was such a good match.
But I'm going to say something a la Bully Ray. If you're going to lose, there's a way to do it.
Okay.
Daddy Ass lost. Billy Gunn lost fighting off all three members.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, he's losing, but he's fighting off all three members of the House of Black, and he's selling, and they're selling it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jade. All right, well, hold on.
So we're going to get into that. We're definitely going to talk about the Jade, 60. Is she 60-1 now?
She's 60-1.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure. But I want to talk about the Acclaimed, that Max
Caster.
He's pretty damn good on the mic. I'm pretty excited to see how he develops because he was very entertaining.
That might be my favorite match too.
Yeah, it was a pretty damn good match, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's up there. The BCC match, I kind of knew which way it was going to go because
here's my question.
Yeah.
At Double or Nothing, don't they usually have that ladder match with the coin or something? Why didn't they have that match?
Oh, that's like their Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't they usually do that at Double or Nothing?
They didn't do it this year.
They didn't do a number one contender.
The brass ring.
Yeah,
it's the brass ring.
They didn't do the chip.
Because last year it was
Max.
Powerhouse Hobbs, I thought. Oh no, I think it was Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, okay.
But either way, they didn't do it. You know what though? It's okay because they can. Did we think you just thought about that now? I mean, it was like days later you thought about it. That's how good it was.
Yeah, I mean,
and again, I didn't
think anything was missing from the
show. No. Look, if Jade Cargill versus Chris Statlander was your least favorite match, that's saying something of how good the night was.
That is saying something because Jade had 2 matches that night.
Now I do notice something, and correct me if I'm wrong. Are we finally? All right, here we go. Are we finally done with the alien thing for Statlander? Is she just Long Island Chris Statlander now? Because she didn't have the contact lenses. She wasn't coming out as a baby. Yeah, they mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
They didn't baby face her out. They just said Chris Statlander, Long Island.
Yeah. Something we were trying to figure out at the show, too, was what gear Jade was wearing, who she was trying to...
She was dressed up as somebody, but I couldn't figure out who.
Yeah, but I saw a tweet or something. It's her college not a fraternity because she's not a man. What's the other one? Sorority. It's her sorority's colors.
Okay,
but we were trying to figure it out.
Yeah, she looked like I don't know, like strawberry cupcake, weird pink and green going on in the hair. Now here's the thing. What do you do with her? Do you put her in the women's title run and just say, "Hey, screw you, I'm going to just go around and go right"? Because at this point,
well, okay, if I'm booking this, I have her beating the shit out of people backstage, just angry, pissed off.
Title belt. I would love to see her just take on Toni Storm, or maybe just have her go right to Toni Storm, just beat the shit out of her. Have Toni Storm and the other 2 from the Outcasts get a little too full of themselves. And I want to see her do something more.
That's the thing. I don't off the top of my head, I don't know what you do with it right now.
Give her some time to rest, but I don't want to see her in you know what? Tony, you've got 3 shows. Make a women's tag belt.
There you go. You can have a women's tag.
Make a women's tag belt. Give it to the Outcasts.
Sure.
And that's his first thing, because it's bullshit that Impact Wrestling, that little fucking, bingo hall production, has a women's tag belt and you don't.
Is Impact the ECW of now? Because you have WWE as WWE, and then you have AEW as WCW.
No, I don't want to say that, because
we have Impact.
Logistically, size-wise, yes.
Yeah, but they're not doing the work.
No, they're not. They're not doing barbed wire matches,
they're not pulling their weight right now.
No, and again,
so
this is what I want to say. I'm not a WWE or nothing guy. I'm annoyed at WWE for having great production and shit product, and I'm annoyed at the other guys for having shit production and a great product. The other guys have a way. If I could just take all the WWE and go, "Hey, you leave all your equipment behind. You're all fired. You're all fired." And then what about the talent? You're gone too. And replace it with all the AEW talent and be like, done. Oh, and one thing, none of the herky-jerky 2-second camera shots where it bounces from one to the next, to the screen to screen to screen to screen to screen to screen. No, I want Rock versus Stone Cold. We're slowly zooming in. We're watching a cinematic match. I do not want literal fucking, Twitch 2-second movement bullshit.
Rob, you ever thought about directing film? I think you'd be good at that.
Yep. Okay, now here's what I want you to do. I want you to spread her open right there.
All right. I'm not talking about that kind of film. God damn it.
All right, you want me to do like some Shawshank Redemption shit?
Sure, absolutely. So what's that you got on your screen there? You probably want to put that.
Yeah. Let's take a look at. We're gonna stay in screen here, but we're gonna show you some more images from. So this was the BCC match Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite.
Yeah, they still came out to the Wayward Son. They're still using Wayward Son, which is cool.
There's a dapper yapper, Justin Roberts.
He's looking amazing.
Don't know what that's from. Oh, that was from that is Julia Hart, and just before the arrival of
Acclaimed.
No, the arrival of House of Black.
Okay.
Yep, there you go, House of Black.
That was sick. I like that logo.
Yeah, that's great. Just a general Double or Nothing. I don't know from what match that was, but it was just a. Oh no, is
that the entrance? That's the beginning. Oh no, that's the Elite.
No, it's not the Elite. You know what that's from? That's from the international champion match.
Yeah, the Rumble.
The Rumble, which was great too.
Because they had Orange Cassidy in the ring there,
and that's a perfect picture of that. Like encapsulates Double or Nothing. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was sick.
Everything they did was great. I was never disappointed. There we go. We have Pentel Cero Miedo, the Lucha Bros.
Who's their manager?
Alex Abrahantes.
I like that guy.
We have Dustin Rhodes.
He has a cool.
Bullet Club Gold. I mean, beautiful.
Yes, he has a cool Titantron that I haven't really noticed before because I don't really watch the Titantrons that much too often. But I really liked his.
And then here's a House of Black entrance.
It's so sick. I pop so hard. I don't know if you can. Oh Jesus! Yes.
Hold on. Let's play this for a second.
Listen to that crowd. You can't tell me that crowd was like half-assing it.
No, everyone's loving what they're watching.
Thank you. It was a great time.
And people are shutting up because they want to watch it. They're like, yo, dude, I want to watch this.
Yes.
Sometimes shutting up does not mean. Look at that.
Yeah, it was lit. House of Black. What do you mean, Red? You don't like the House of Black? Come on.
Oh my God. Oh,
that's
hold on.
Silliness.
Hold on, pause that right there.
So
Let's see. Your girl's getting cut by a kid named Dominic. That was the savage. He's talking to Buddy Murphy, whose real life girlfriend is Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
And when he goes, your girl's getting cut by a kid named Dominic. I was like, ah! That is like, dude. There was.
Did you find that funny? I don't find cuckolding very funny.
Oh, that was. There was a line in one of my favorite shows.
I don't find cuckolding very
one
funny.
of my favorite shows is The Walking Dead.
Oh no!
And in The Walking Dead, there's a scene where Negan goes over to Rick and he goes, "Man, I just shoved my whole dick down your throat, and you just asked for seconds." That's what AEW did to WWE. It's just like, we're using you, and again, is everybody who should be seeing it? I hope so, because they're so much better than WWE. I leave WWE going, it's okay. This was like, oh God! Oh God.
You fast forward a lot through WWE, huh?
Yeah, I do. I only watch WWE to check for spots.
Yeah.
And then what ends up happening is sometimes I'll fast forward from one match to the other and miss the segment in between. And then I'll find out about it 2 days later that I fast forwarded through something.
Red's got a very good point right here. He says the House of Black is wildly underused. It's like Bray and E. There should be so much more happening with them. They just feel like they're just there.
And that's why they wanted to leave for a while. So they gave them these belts, but I feel like there's no storyline attached to it. I feel like they have the belts.
Sure.
They're demonic. That's it. They're doing the goth demonic thing. That's it.
I mean,
they're not. We don't know what they are. We used to have an idea of what they were. I'm going to go back on what I just said. When he used to come out in WWE and his entrance was the Darth Vader, Frankenstein thing where Aleister Black came out like this and he had that dark music and you're like, whoa. His entrance theme in WWE is savage.
Yeah.
Now here he's...
Well, I think that it takes time to like build stuff.
They've had enough time.
No, come on. Let them be champs for a while. Let them defend the championships. I'm not complaining about him being a champ. I'm like, let them just do what they're doing right now. Let's have some title defenses. Let's have them beat the shit out of some people.
When Miro came in, right?
Sure.
And he was going for the TNT belt.
Very forgettable time.
No. He came out and he says, I am God's champion. That was good. He was God's champion, and I will go home and I will make love to my beautiful wife. And we're like, okay, we know who she is. It's visual. He's coming out. He's got his story. He's talking to the crowds. It's almost like he's giving a confessional in a church booth. Great. Loved it. When they turned Julia, they needed to find a way to get her over because she could still work. The other two need to develop. Fine.
Yeah, but then she didn't work well with the Varsity Blonde.
Well, they didn't have anything to do with her. She was just... Yeah. Now, after she came and joined the group, they went up and they hit a plateau. They hit a ceiling. And it's like...
Well, what do you want them to do? You want them to be the top... you want everybody to be the top guys?
No.
You want everybody to be top guys?
They have the belts deservedly.
Yes.
They have the skill.
Yes.
They have charisma.
Yes.
They work well in the ring together.
Yes.
Why are they there? And you can take any belt you want. You could go after any belt you want, and you could say, "I want to have the best challenge. I want to be the best, and I want to challenge the best people."
I think they're trying to bring prestige to a championship that's so brand new that it needs prestige building.
But so did the Elite when they had it. So did the all of those guys said that's fine and that's true.
Well, I'm giving you my answer. That's what I think that they're doing with the House of Black right now.
I agree with Red. Red's on fire today, by the way. His insight is perfect.
I mean, that's fine. Okay. Here's what
you do with them.
Here's the thing. Here's the big question about, yes, I will be. Here's the thing about the issue with having so many people on a roster. What do you do with everybody? You can't have everybody, like everybody's fighting people in the backstage.
No, here's what I would do. So the Blackpool Combat Club is going against the Blackpool Combat Club are kind of like they're trying to turn them into anti-heroes.
Sure.
Because they got Wheeler Yuta and they're they're putting him on top of Claudio's shoulders and they're all cheering in the ring. If you're really heels, you're just going to storm out of the ring and beat up the next guy. They're trying to turn them into faces, I think. Next, you've got the Blackpool you've got the I keep forgetting their name because unfortunately they're forgettable and it shouldn't be that way. The House of Black. I would want the House of Black to go, okay, there's other factions in AEW. We're going to feud with one of these factions. And it's going to elevate one of the other factions, whether it would have been the Factory, whether it would have been the BCC itself, whether it's the Elite, the Lucha Bros, and whomever they come up with. I want them to go and just cut out the lights and start beating people up.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Or, you know who they need to beat up? Because they're just, I don't know what we're doing with them. We've turned them into comic relief. The Dark Order. The Dark Order went from a House of Black type thing to comic relief. You know what?
I just thought of an idea that I want to incorporate in Cuts Pro when I get it going full time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this thing where you have factions, and the only way that they can grow and or continue on in the company is by winning. And like, say we have like House of Black,
like XFL style, where you have to win matches to get more.
Yeah. So you have House of Black versus Dark Order. I say they beat Dark Order and take one member and be like, all right, you join House of Black. The rest of you are fired. And so you get rid of some people. And then you have them go up against the Hollywood Blondes or whatever. Or, they have Varsity Blondes. And they beat them. And then they take one of them and they're like, all right, you're done. I think that would be a really cool aspect that they could switch things up a bit and maybe
So yes, Tori asks,
get a smaller roster going.
Tori, but yeah, I agree. I like your style.
Let's get rid of some people so we have room for good storylines.
Okay. I want to answer Tori's question. Yes.
Hey, that'd be cool, Red. I like that.
2000 and I want to say 2007. I'm from Westchester County, New York, Bronx and Westchester. Gross. And Westchester County at the Dead Center in White Plains, New York, is a big convention center type place. It holds about a few thousand people. And I got to meet Bailey Gunn, Chyna, and Jesse James. Got an autograph with the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to meet Kenny King because he lives here. I've gotten to meet. I got to meet John Moxley. I sold him stuff when I worked at an electronics store. He was my customer. Him and Renee Paquette. She came in. He came in once, and then a month later, she came in, and what he wanted to buy was an iPod, and we only had some open boxing, and he was cool, and he was patient, and he was a good dude. But I'll tell you right now, his whole demeanor and persona, that's him. He is not putting on an act. He just goes, oh man, just want to buy an iPod. You got any iPods, buddy? I'm like, oh shit. And I'm a Mark, so I went up to him. I'm like, excuse me, Dean. Hi, Dean.
You're like
Dean?
You're like, John, I'll give you my iPod.
No. I didn't say
iPods, but
I was a Mark.
I
was like, hey, are you Dean Ambrose? And he goes,
so
wait, what?
much.
He goes, oh yeah.
Dude, if you said that, if I was him and you said that, you walked up to me and you're like, are you Dean Ambrose? I'd have been like, all right, I gotta go.
No, you know what he did?
I would leave the store.
It was the day.
And I would buy my iPod anywhere else. Literally anywhere. I would go on my phone and I'd get on Amazon and I would buy an iPod.
By the way,
on there.
all my coworkers are like, holy fuck, it's Dean Ambrose. And
so
what do you
annoying.
expect? But what have we been talking about all night?
I'd be like, sir.
WWE
there's ways to talk to people,
but WWE does a great job of marketing their talent, and to the point where, am I bothering to look up the guy's real name? Am I going to go fucking Wikipedia
but you
him?
You just
And how often do you get pissed at me for using their real names?
I bet you, Mr. Moxley would have appreciated if you didn't use his name at all or stage names at all. If you just been like, "Hey man, how's it going?
Okay,
how can I help you?"
Hi, Jonathan Goodman.
Oh, you're a nerd. You're such a
you see, you can't have it both ways.
No, you don't address somebody by their name. You don't just assume you know people's names. Just treat them like any other customer. Do you walk up to a random lady and be like, "Hi, Beverly Johnson. How can I help you?"
Actually, well, but that's the thing. The guy is shopping. He's staring into space, and I'm like, "Fuck." I think I know who it is, but I don't know his real. We've had porn stars come into my old job, and what do I do? Do I look up their? No, we had Asia Carrera come into. Her name is not Asia Carrera; it's something else. She's like half German.
I would expect you to walk up to her and be like, "What's up, hot lady, mama titties?"
No, I'm like
big bush.
Hey,
lady, woman. Hey. I just saw you get came on. How's it going? How can I help you?
And you know what happened? A few people said that to her. And she was with a 10-year-old daughter, and she goes, "See, mommy was famous before she had you." Mm-hmm. And she was wearing fatigues that said Asia Carrera.
Yeah.
No, but you were asking the question. Terry was hold on a second. Met Jamie Hayter. Now see, that's dope. And I had that feeling about Hayter because a lot of these people, the ones who are heels, sometimes they're the most baby-faced people behind the scenes, and the ones who are faces are the ones who are dicks in real life.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
Yeah, and I got that feeling about her.
I met Matt Hardy at a signing once. He was pretty dope.
Yeah, but no, Matt. Cool. Did I meet him? No, I've never met the Hardys. I feel like if I met Matt,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Like, hey, what's up, Anal Slayer 42? Like, I don't.
You don't know porn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why would it just
talk
to people like they're humans.
No, but I don't. But again, you're breaking through these. See, here's the thing. You're breaking.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I did recently meet a wrestler. I was at the Nerd one time. It was when WWE was in town. It was a couple years ago. It had to open because the Good Brothers were still in WWE or before they left or came back.
Anyway, every week they leave
who's
WWE.
Who's the tall one? Luke Gallows?
Mm-hmm.
Luke Gallows walks past me, and when I don't bother people.
He's got to be super tall.
I don't like fucking bothering people. I just go, hey, man, I loved your stuff in New Japan. And he stops, and he put up the too sweet, and he gave me a little too sweet. And that was the only interaction.
What? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the.
I didn't go, hey, hold on, let me Google his name. Hey, what's up?
No, I didn't. But no, you don't. No,
Brian,
I went like this. I went.
Garth Brooks.
He's standing there. He's standing there. So John Moxley is standing at this. If you've ever been to a Fry's Electronics in Las Vegas, there was a cafeteria, and then after the cafeteria was an aisle for Apple products. And he's just standing there and standing there and standing there. Eventually, you got to greet the guy. You got to greet the person.
Sure.
So I know who the fuck it is. I said, holy shit, Dean Ambrose. He didn't respond. I took a look. Now, this was the day after.
I think it was being nice.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because, no, remember, and I'm going to tell you, no, that's not what happened. Because, yeah, rest in peace. When I was in radio, my DJ name was RJ Williams. When people once in a very blue moon would only knew me from radio addressed me as RJ Williams, I never responded to them. And I was standing about 5 feet away from a guy, and he kept saying, RJ. Hey, RJ.
So you're not used to being called
I'm not used to being called that. It's a stage name. I'm calling, and I said I was a mark. I'm calling him by his stage name. I didn't watch him.
Well,
in
I feel
indies.
like Dean Ambrose was called Dean Ambrose for like 7 years of his life every day. So I feel like he would have answered.
No, he was staring. He was intently staring, and I said, "Oh."
Maybe he was thinking about who he was going to kill next. You know,
I don't know.
Like,
but he was dressed in his ring attire because he had jeans.
he had
minus the taped hand. That was the only difference is he didn't have his hands taped.
Can you imagine fucking John Moxley in your fries with taped hands? Just like
he had the boots.
You're like looking for the ref.
Gray jeans, like, and he had the black tank top.
Oh, I just figure that's what he wears every day.
Dude, and he came in and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, you're Dean Ambrose, right? And he goes, what? Oh yeah. And I'm like, and so I got him what I sold him whatever he bought. He bought the iPod. But then I went like this. I'm like, so how are you feeling, man? And he looks at me and I'm like, didn't Kane just put your head through cinder blocks yesterday? He goes, oh man, that was great, wasn't it? And that was it, man. We shook hands, man. The only thing he got annoyed about, I'm like, I said, I don't know if you shopped you before. What's your phone number? And he came up in the system. I said, all right, Goodman, Jonathan Goodman. He goes, yeah, what? I went, oh. Then I went like this. I went, oh, yeah. And that was it. And he just shrugged his shoulders. I shook his hand. Then a month later, he came back with Renee Paquette, and he goes like this, you get whatever you want, baby. And she started giggling. He squeezed her, and she started giggling. And I was like, and I went like this. And that was 7 years ago. By the way, how often the wrestlers and their spouses just it fizzles in a couple of years? No, that was years ago, and they're still.
That's cute.
Much respect to him.
That's a cute story.
If people use my shoot name, I don't respond because I forget what it is sometimes. Well, that's the thing. So that was how that. But RVD made here. I just nerded out on RVD. I just like, dude, you're my favorite wrestler, and he's gigantic. By the way, I thought he was like a mid-sized guy. He's like 6'5". He's huge, and they've been putting him up against way bigger guys. So I had no idea he was huge, RVD, and he was a man. He was just cool, gigantic hands, like fucking monster meat hands. I didn't get to speak to him, but MVP was also at a Vegas comedy show.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was at a place. It's an antique shop, and it's called Rebar. And it used to be a comedy show there, and he was there with 2 other wrestlers. Who was that guy who was living with all of them? There was a comedian who was living with
Alex
them.
Ansel?
No, not Ansel. I'm sure he was. I think he was
Adam
too.
Dominguez?
No, he left.
Chris Waldeck?
No.
Those are all the 3 comics that lived together.
No, lived with wrestlers.
Yeah, Alex Ansel lived with Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I know, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't any of those guys. It was not any of those guys. He's a wrestler he's a comedian from
Garland.
Iowa. Tom Garland.
Yeah.
There's a comedian named Tom Garland, and he was living with Rob Van Dam. My headphone is. It's not my headphone. It's my. It's Tom Garland was living with Rob Van Dam and Austin Aries.
Oh yeah.
And Austin Aries I met. Now there's a funny story about Austin Aries. I don't know if I told you.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. So I have my head down and we're at Dive Bar and I see the tattoo, Austin Aries tattoo, and I'm like, holy shit. Now I was zoning out. If you do comedy and if it's an open mic, or even if it's not an open mic,
there's a lot of zoning out going on.
You just want to get up there and get it over with.
Because you're there for like 4 hours.
You're there for 4 hours to do 5 minutes. You're there for 4 hours to do 15 minutes.
Oh man, Red gets it.
No, I didn't.
Red gets it.
I met Austin Aries. This is what happened. I see the tattoo, the big Japanese, kanji tattoo on his arm, and I'm like this. Holy shit! That's like Austin Aries tattoo. And he goes, that's because I'm Austin Aries. And I look up and I'm eye to eye with him, and he's my height. He's like 5'8", 5'9". I was like, what? I was like, okay, I knew he was kind of short, but okay. And we just started talking, and I said, we're just talking. I'm a big fan. Are you going to AEW? He goes, no. They asked me, but I don't want to go. I'm just going to hit the road. And I asked him about the no sell at Impact Wrestling. And he goes, fuck them. They're fucking me on the contract. They're fucking me on the belt. They get a no sell. That's why I kept up. I was like, fuck it. He was fighting Johnny Impact and John Morrison, whatever persona you want to go with him. And he just gets pinned and he kips up and walks out. And I'm like, all right, fine. And he was cool until somebody took a picture of him. Waldick takes a picture of him and he loses his shit on stage.
Yeah.
I was fucking dying.
Yeah, I met him. I met with Tom Garland at Noreen's one night. And he was,
that was the night. That was the second night he was there. He was
cool. I mean, I don't,
it was cool.
Seemed like he didn't really want to talk about wrestling.
And I could say this. I don't know if he's still using Austin Aries.
I don't know if he was like hanging out in the comedy scene because he wanted to get into comedy or something.
Briefly, he did one set I've ever seen at Dive Bar. It was semi-funny, and then he had one thing he said at the end. He goes, "Be very nice to the people on the way up because you don't know who you're going to need on the way down." This time last year, I was hosting WrestleMania. And now I'm at a dive bar in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was true.
I mean, yeah.
He's a great talent in the ring. From Markus and many other people have all said he's an asshole to work for and work with or whomever. Or whatever. But it was nice to me.
Yeah.
He was not like, oh my God.
To me, he just seems like very, very conceited. Like he's just There was way too much confidence in such a tiny body. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I got him. All right. He's short.
All right. If one day he offered to do Catch Pro Wrestling for whatever money you had to offer, you would take him.
I mean,
of course
I only got $40 in my pocket, so if he'll do it for $40,
he's a draw. If you could get him, he's a damn draw. He's gonna
get squashed. I'm gonna have PB Smooth kick him in the mouth one time and call it a match.
You're not gonna let him do the last chancery?
I ain't letting him do none of that bullshit. His music's still gonna be playing when he gets kicked in the mouth. Why are we so we're all blurry? There we go.
I don't know who's calling me. Someone's calling me. Hold on. Who is this?
Don't worry about it. It ain't worth it.
All right, hold on a second.
It ain't worth it.
Speaking of
Catch Pro, I'm going to talk about Catch Pro for a minute. We had to, I don't know if you saw my post, Rob.
Yeah.
We had to reschedule.
Oh no.
We had
what happened?
Well, we were having issues finding a venue and finding the right venue for what we want to do. I have a very strict. Okay, this is going to be Catch Pro minute for a minute. Is that cool for you?
No problem.
So I did 3 Catch Pro shows before, and it cost me about $5,000 each to put on these shows.
And that's not small change.
And that's a lot of money, especially for somebody who, like, one of my shows, I worked as a driver for Domino's, and I was also doing DoorDash, and my wife was also doing driving at Domino's, and all 3 of those jobs. Excuse me, while we were paying rent and everything, phone bills, car insurance, stuff like that. But we spent most of our money on wrestling shows. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I spent money I probably shouldn't have, and I should have,
You could have cut. You could have cut out.
I learned some
here
lessons,
and there.
you know. So
you didn't need a halftime show.
Going into. Shut up! You're a hater. You're such. That was a free part of the show.
Oh, I know, but
so
you had to pay for that.
I don't know why you're talking shit.
But you could have saved money, is what I'm saying.
All right. So anyway,
but this motherfucker. By the way,
you're a fucking hater. I hope she hears how much you're a hater of her.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
you're a fucking hater.
I'm going to say this in tongue. No, both ends of this coin.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't say tongue in cheek with that.
And that's not my time. You gave a great show, and the fact that you even put in a halftime show shows how much you love your fans and want to make a great program.
Sure,
but you could have saved money without it.
Okay. Well, anyway,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not hating.
Anyway, I think
if you want to have 15 minutes of cocaine jokes,
I think the $40 I would have given her if I was to pay her for her comedy.
Oh, she was free.
That's what I just said. It was a free halftime show.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
so
okay,
with the free halftime show with the $40 I could have paid her. I mean, I'm still spending $4,980.
My apologies. I thought you were
too much.
Like $500 on her.
Okay, so my point being here, guys, is I had a very strict amount. I had a budget for what I wanted to do with this show, and when I talked to some of the venues, like I talked to Backstage Bar or back.
Oh, because you're
one of those
on now. Where would there be a ring now?
I wanted to do a show on Fremont Street because it was like right by my house. I thought it would be a good spot to have a show.
Absolutely,
I could do a lot of
from cross promoting the traffic, everything.
Yes, traffic.
Everything.
I could get a bunch of people in there just by barking and stuff.
Easy,
so
easy. And people will see a wrestling match, and especially Fremont.
I'm not gonna shit talk any venues in particular, but one of them said $4,500 down, and then if you have to sell 7,000 in liquor that night.
Oh,
and if you don't sell 7,000, so say you sell like 5,000, you have to add the 2,000 that you didn't sell on top to the money you owe. And I was like, oh, so you want me to spend $11,000 on a venue for a wrestling show that maybe brings in 100 people?
And this is the reality of you know what? I hope people gather from all of this.
It is very expensive to run wrestling shows.
And if you have disposable income and you've got fuck you amounts of money.
Yeah, I mean, sure. If you're Tony Khan, you can do wrestling shows. Also, I need to rent a ring because I don't have $5,000 to buy a ring, so I got to rent a ring, and then they want to deposit, and then they want to pay all their guys to help. I feel like a ring is more than $5,000. It's about $5,000. If you go on, I think it's ringside mats or some shit like that. Like the basic price for a functioning ring is about $5,000.
And then if you want to get something decent with your logos,
if you want all that extra, it's about $7,500. So I need to rent a ring, and then but the person that we're kind of scraggly a little bit. You want to try to, you don't have your headphones on so you can't hear, but we're do you want to fix the mics? There we go. Oh, hey,
no, it's not the mic. It's a splitter. It's a headphone splitter.
So anyway, renting the ring, they want a deposit. They want to pay all these other people to, get in. And then I got to pay for my talent, and then I got to pay for promotion, and I got to pay for this. I got to pay for an insurance, deposit if something happens on this or that or whatever. So anyway, with the time that we had and the date that we had and everything, it just wasn't doable. And I didn't want to have a fiasco.
So, in other words, long story short, what you're trying to do is bide your time, find a proper venue, find the right money, find the right wrestlers, and do it the right way instead of rushing.
And do it the right way where I actually make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Because it kind of sucks. Like
you're doing it for the love of it right now.
I'm doing it for the love of it, and I want to put on shows, and it's something I want to put on since I was a kid. But also, like, I have a wife. And she works her ass off at a job, and she allows me to work DoorDash and manage bands and do artwork for my job. So I kind of want to
you want to be a better husband to her.
I want to be a better husband to her, and I don't want to fucking be like, hey babe, we're going to spend $7,500 on this show. And then she's like, I got to get loans. And then we got to do all this. It's just
no.
There's so much that goes into putting on a wrestling show, and it's very expensive.
And that's not even talking about if you get a kid in the mix.
And it sucks. And so we're going to have to wait a little while.
And you know what? I support you.
Thanks, man.
I support you, and I understand why you're doing that. You know what? And
I want to put on a good wrestling show too, you know, and it's like,
and I want to go to
wrestling
Mastrioni's
show.
and come out in a sequence jacket.
Yeah. So I think that putting on a good wrestling show versus putting on a wrestling show is two different budgets as well. So
no, that's fine. It
sucks, and it disappointed some people, and some people are upset about it, and life goes on, I guess.
Yep. Or as they say in the sex terms, don't blow your load all at once. Just,
yeah, I don't want to blow my Cats Pro load all over the place without,
Yeah, it's all. You don't want a little weak load. You want a big stream. No, and that's fine. And by the way, then you take it and find a way to do it live over our channel.
Yeah, I mean, we're building an audience. Hopefully, they'd be interested in seeing something like that and supporting something like that. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, enough of that.
Stuff. We want to get back. Let's cross over into briefly Night of Champions.
Sure.
Night of Champions was not the same level of enjoyment as Double or Nothing. It just fucking wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just it was there, and it's pro wrestling, and we're talking about pro wrestling.
Yes.
So
listen, I will say this for
Night of Champions.
I will say this for Night of Champions. This was a big night for my man Sami Zayn. This was a big ordeal. This was something special for him. So I'm glad that he.
Well, no, they did Sami Zayn right. They did Sami Zayn right.
This opportunity. And I'm glad that he got to perform.
He represented his people.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything the way that you could ask him to do it. He came out. See if I can find a picture. This is why we had a producer, so I'm not splitting my time. But he came out basically in a Middle Eastern garb, a long flowing white shirt. He spoke in a regional dialect of what I was assuming was Arabic. The crowd exploded. The match went exactly as you would expect it to go. The Usos tried to run interference and assist Roman Reigns. They ended up costing him the match by double super kick to Solo Sikoa accidentally because Sami Zayn got out of the way. Roman Reigns pie faces Jey Uso, pie faces Jimmy, and then Jimmy's like, fuck this, and super kicks Roman a couple of times. So now on Friday, tomorrow, we're going to get the aftermath of that. I'm thinking this is a great thing. I'm liking it, but you know what it's also effectively doing? It's distracting me from the fact that Roman Reigns is, again, only a partial champion. It's distracting me from the fact of everything else going on. You're still putting, even though he's only on one roster now, officially, you're still only shining a light now on the bloodline. So you're milking the bloodline thing for as much as you can, and it's fine, and it's working. My only question is, now you've got this fork in the road. Yeah. The fork in the road is, do the bloodline stay together and reform somehow? There's just something that unifies them. He's mentioned Rikishi showing up, so we might get Rikishi Fatu.
I'm excited for that rumor. I think it'd be cool to see old Kish come in and yell at his kids and yell at his nephew and
this is what I've always said.
Brother?
I would.
I forget how old
Rikishi's got to be in his 50s.
Is, but I guess he's like, I don't know how he's related to Kishi.
Here's what I would like to see.
But I'd like to see Kish.
There's never going to be another opportunity by which you demonstrate the full reach of the family. I will not be.
We were talking about this before the podcast.
Yes.
I want to hear you.
All right.
You should tell them your idea.
All right. And it's not going to go over with everybody, but I think right now we have the bloodline, and the idea of the bloodline was that it's Roman Reigns and his cousins, the Usos. The Usos are. I'm sorry, my headphones cut in. The Usos are not the only family members in that bloodline, in that lineage. So we've got Tamina, we've got Nia Jax, we've got The Rock, we've got Rikishi. Now, my attitude was, when they started this, way back, when Nia Jax was not going on her journey of improvement, when you had Tamina as a women's champion, as a women's tag team champion a couple of years back with Natty, with Natalya, when you had these people who were still somewhat invested in the roster, to go, okay, Tamina could beat up a lot of people. Nia Jax has been in the Men's Royal Rumble and fought off 5 guys. Okay, obviously, then you're not going to have them go after everybody, but use them the same way that they use Rhea Ripley and have them run interference. I would like to see a bloodline with all of its members. If you're going to tell me that this is the family and you've acknowledged that these other individuals are part of your family and they're on the active roster, maybe on reserve, maybe they're not, they're in their downtime in their career right now. But if you're going to bring in Rikishi and bring in these other people, I want to see the whole family get in that ring. Even if it's just once or twice. But if you have a dynasty, a legacy, and you have a family unit, and you have those 2 women come back, I would love to see.
Here's the problem: WWE doesn't see money in women.
But remember, what have I been saying all night long? The problem with WWE is their product sucks.
Yes.
Okay.
And now that I think about it, the idea of having this huge family makes more sense. You want to have this dynasty. When I think dynasty, I think 40 or 50 motherfuckers. For some reason.
But we know that there's members of their family that's wrestling in other promotions.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, why don't they get, like you said,
they got the one dude from MLW, right?
Sure. Sign him.
Get them, make tiers of these people. Yeah. I would like it to be a watered down NWO of just these Samoan wrestlers.
Yeah.
And with Roman Reigns at the head of that. And then you can go, all right, we have Raw, we have SmackDown, we have Raw champions, because they're going to split off the tag team belts again because they're still wearing red and blue belts. Zayn and Owens are still wearing 2 sets of belts, which means they're going to split the belts off at one point. They're going to go, you know what? WWE is growing and blah, 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 and we need blah, 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 blah.
You know what pissed me off? I saw a clip of AJ Styles on Raw coming out to congratulate
Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
and they baby-faced it up, and the 2 of them blew each other in the ring.
And they go, I know I'm supposed to be on SmackDown, and I go, God damn it.
But this is what
was the point of the draft?
But you were the one who was extolling the virtues of the draft.
I thought the draft was going to be I thought they were going to stick to it one time. I thought Trips was going to stick to it. I had too much faith. Faith in Triple H.
Day 1 after the draft, who came in? Paul Heyman came in with a sticker on his phone that said visitor. Day 2, because Triple H is a fucking corporate loser. He sucks. He sucks. Triple H sucks. Hey, I'm breaking our rule. Paul, you suck. 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 You know why you suck?
I'm glad that Rob is finally a full-blown AEW guy. This is such a beautiful thing for me.
You suck, Paul. Paul.
On this note, I have to go pick up my wife, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, well, we'll give it a couple more minutes because I made her wait too long last time, and I'm sorry.
You did.
But Triple H, you suck.
Too much.
Why do you suck? Obviously, there is a team of writers in the back working for you. And obviously, you're going to consult with Paul Heyman because he's an excellent writer. If you're not, you're insane. And you've got so many people across time that you've used.
I think I think Vincent Kennedy McMahon's still running things.
He is. Now, here's what I'll say about this. The night was, real quick, Asuka wins, blue mist, sprays it on her fingers, rubs her chili powder fingers into the eyes of Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair loses. I'm happy. Okay. The Sami Zayn and Sami Zayn winning over the Usos, and it really is because Owens is boring. I'm happy. That's fine. It went the way it was supposed to win. It was so simple that even WWE couldn't fuck it up.
I think that's like
the matches were pretty much Seth Rollins winning.
Tell us that that Vincent Kennedy McMahon's no longer involved, and then we find out that he is or whatever. I think that's just like a low blow to your fans.
No, because what did they do? What
did
they
give
say?
Us any honesty whatsoever?
The Dark Side of the Ring said at the end of that episode.
I didn't see that episode.
At the end of it, it talks about how Stephanie's now running the company and how quickly they dropped her ass. Shortly after that was filmed. It's him.
It's so insulting.
It's always him.
It's so insulting.
He's never going to leave.
To be like,
he's always. It's
we got
always
rid
him.
of the rapist. We got rid of him.
No, he's not going anywhere.
He's still running the show.
He's
Listen,
not going
I gotta
anywhere.
Go pick up my wife. Rob,
All right,
if
we
you
gotta
wanna
go.
Continue,
No. It's an hour. We've done an hour.
We did an hour. I feel like this was a special episode, kind of, because we never do ones on Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna try to nail down a time, and I'm gonna raise bloody hell.
I'm gonna hire a producer that wants to be here,
and also who knows a little bit
more.
more.
Can.
Yeah, and I
No, because I'm not gonna shit on my boy. That's my boy. He's moving in the middle of next month.
No, hey, look, you did a great job.
So he has a
you
lot
did a great.
going on.
I need somebody who's savage.
We need to get somebody who knows what they're doing, and then that can actually be here. That isn't as busy.
Yeah. And I like the 1 hour. We got to tighten it up, but yeah, his headphones are off. Yes. We're gonna go.
I gotta go pick up my wife. I love you guys. Thanks for being around.
Yeah, and he loves the vagina more than he loves wrestling, and that's smart.
That's not. No, listen. How long did I make my wife wait?
Oh God, it was like an hour and a half.
And then the walk back. It was like 2 hours. My wife's sitting at work.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. That I apologize.
By yourself at the mall.
And by the way,
it's already closed.
You don't want to wait.
It's all dark.
Oh God! All right,
it's on the strip.
All right, I'm closing it.
All right, I love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Next week.